Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister and this is my Major Arcana series. So for today, we're going to cover the Temperance card and we're going to go deep into this card. We are going to cover the numerology, secret symbolism, astrological correspondence, and all that good stuff. And hey guys, no, this is not stuff you can just do on a quick Google search, quick few-minute video. I'm including stuff that you aren't going to find in like your average tarot card book. There are symbols in this card that I found that I had no idea, and it totally like blew my mind as to the meaning of the card. So I'm super excited to share it with you. So I'm going to show you 3 different versions of the cards. Oh, and oh my goodness, I forgot to mention, yes, I am going to give you the upright and the reversed meanings of this card. I keep forgetting to say that, so I'm saying it now. All right, let's go. All right, we got the Temperance card, this beautiful card here. All right, this, what are we seeing here? So these are 3 different versions of the cards. This is the Rider-Waite version, the most popular version. Now, tarot was a playing card game back in the day in the 1400s. That's all we know. It was a game, and somewhere along the way it became a divination tool. A lot of info was lost. So this is not the first version. It was created in the 1900s by publishers Rider and Waite, and the artwork was done by Pamela Coleman Smith. All right, and then on the right here, we have the Light Seers deck and by Chris Ann. I keep forgetting to mention her. Sorry. All right, and this was the first deck that I used. I love it so much. I had a tarot card reader read this for me and I just fell in love with it, and that's like when I was like ready to read tarot cards. She had told me that I have that ability during the reading, and so I do recommend this card deck for beginners. I feel like it's so easy to connect to and use right away for people, and that people you read for really love this one too. And then this one, I love this deck as well. This deck is related to a book that one of the first books I read to learn tarot, and it's called WTF Tarot. And so this is the deck associated with that book. And so if you're interested in more info about any of these decks or the books that I used to learn from, I left links in the description box below for you. On to the good stuff, the numerology. So if you look at the card, you'll see that there's number 14 here. And so 14 means that there's a firm structure to support the mind. All right, so we have 4 in the card. And remember that 4 is like a foundation, a square, putting things into a structure and order through action, work, struggle, or conflict. And then plus 10, 10 was an ending and a beginning. So a completion of a cycle and new start based on lessons learned from the past. So it's these 2 things combined. So the 4 structure is finding a foundation on the higher self through the wisdom of the 10. Pretty cool. Okay, so on to the secret symbolism. I'm going to go go into the Rider-Waite one first because that has the most symbolism. So there's this angel here. And this angel on the deck is most likely Michael, the Archangel Michael. Although there's like no definitive answer to this. I found a few different things. So in any case, Archangel Michael is a warrior angel who is the protector and leader of the army of God against the forces of evil. The other deity associated with this card, she's not pictured here, but it's the Greek goddess Iris, and she is the goddess of the rainbow and messenger of the gods, similar to Mercury. Like the god Mercury, Iris traveled between realms from Hades, the underworld, to the sea, sky, and Mount Olympus. So she links the gods to humanity. And so to give a nod to her, you can see these yellow irises here in the tall grass for her. And irises themselves symbolize eloquence, hope, wisdom, communication, and faith. And you'll notice, right, we have the water here, and you'll see up this little path here, there's Mount Olympus in the back, where the gods and goddesses of Greece or Rome are back here. I believe Olympus is a Greek term, but I could be wrong on that one. All right, so a little more about Iris and why there's these cups here, okay? The cups actually relate to the goddess Iris, and it's because the god Zeus, king of the Greek gods, commanded Iris to carry golden cups of water from the underworld from the river Styx in Hades. And so what it would do is it would put to sleep all those who would lie or perjure themselves. So the water would show who was telling the truth or not. So she went all the way down to Hades, grabbed some water, brought it back up to Mount Olympus. They would like bless the water or whatever, and then Zeus would do his thing. Okay, so the word temperance, you might think of like the temperance era, okay? But the word temperance is defined as moderation or voluntary self-restraint. Temperance was considered by ancient philosophers to be one of the 4 cardinal virtues. And it also means it's not just self-restraint, okay? It also means the mixing, the proper balancing or mixing of a temperature or compound. So like tempering of a sword means to heat and cool it to shape it into a sharp blade. So I thought that was like cool to know like the other meaning of temperance, right? Because so you can see that the angel here is in the process of tempering the water, putting this water back and forth to get it to the right mix. And the water itself is also associated with the subconscious emotions and desires, getting that subconscious right. So the pond itself represents the cosmic mind and the subconscious. And I keep forgetting to mention this, but I think it's also related to like the collective unconscious, like where that Carl Jung referred to as well. So the tempering process of the water back and forth between cups represents meditation and discipline. So this process here will create awareness of the subconscious and mastery over the universal life's force in the material world. Okay, so you'll notice that one foot is in the water and the other one is on earth. And that represents the flow between the subconscious and the conscious and comfort with both, right? The connection between the spiritual and the material. All right, so I'm going to move up here to this square, and the square represents physical manifestation, and the triangle in it represents divine order of spirit. The circle up here and the yellow on the head represents eternity and spirit. And then we've got these red wings here representing equal desire and passion. And the robe symbolizes purity, showing that temperance requires a balance between these two things, right? We have desire and purity, right? A balance between the two. So the straight and narrow road between the angel right here, over here, shows that the act of temperance and balance and moderation, it leads to the gods. All right, so I'm going to move on to the light seer variation, and we'll see how this one compares, right? And so here's an angel, right? And he could be Archangel Michael, or maybe he's Iris. Who knows, right? It's an artistic interpretation. So I'm thinking of this angel as Michael. And we see a mixing of energy and balance, right? Between the sun and the moon. All right, the sun is represented, is associated with the soul, spirit, and higher divine order. The moon is associated with the subconscious, the body, and earth. And we also have this white shirt here associated with purity. And then these brown pants and shoes are associated with groundedness and practicality. So a balance between these things is also called for. We also see that symbol of the square right up here as a tattoo on his chest. And so the square structure and order and physical realm. The square was structure and order and physical realm, and the triangle was divine order. And then we have the circle on the arm, which represents spirit and eternity. Okay, so moving on over to the Way Home Tarot version. This one is super cool. Temperance is represented by this peacock here. And yes, it does have a meaning. Peacocks are associated with integrity and rejuvenation. Peacocks also symbolize beauty, balance, wise vision, awakening, immortality, spirituality, self-confidence, awareness, leadership, self-love, resurrection, and laughing at life. So all great associations with temperance. And I thought like the integrity one was a big part. Like when I'm thinking of the word integrity, that made the temperance card just like click for me right away. Okay, so we have this green flame in here. So what is the green flame? So the green flame is actually associated with Archangel Raphael, who this creator chose to associate the card with in this version instead of, I guess, the angel Michael, associated with the angel of healing. The green flame is the flame of balance and truth. So it represents manifested physical reality, crystallization of substance, knowledge, and science. And then we've got amethyst crystals in here, which you might not see. Maybe you can see it there. But the amethyst is a crystal of connection to the higher self, and it represents connection and trust in the universe, spirit, and source. Okay, we're moving on to the colors now. And why? Because once you know these colors, you can read a lot of different things beyond tarot and know it easily right away, and not have to remember every single symbol, right? The numbers and the colors are like quick little, like a cheat sheet. Okay, so we've got white here. Okay, white here and here. Okay, so remember, white represents purity, wholeness, and protection. We have red up here, a little bit here, and red represents desire, passion, vitality, and courage. Yellow, bright yellow, it's more orangey here, but we have yellow in here, and that, or golds we mentioned, and that represents the soul, creativity, optimism, and enthusiasm. Okay, we have orange in this triangle, orange here, orange sun here, and orange represents warmth, energy, activity, drive, and confidence. Then we have light blue. Light blue is associated with serenity, mental clarity, and compassion. Okay, and then we have the green here, and green is associated with healing, growth, fertility, and prosperity. Then we have this gray sky here, mostly gray in here. This is kind of grayish. There are grayish tones in this card as well. But gray is associated with wisdom because it's mixing between black and white, no longer polarity. And then we have purple in this card, and that represents wisdom, spirituality, and power. And then we have brown, right, in the shoes. Remember, that represented grounding, permanence, and practicality. And last but not least, we have some black here, and black represents power, the unconscious, protection, and wisdom. Okay, the astrological correspondence of this card is the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. I happen to be a Sagittarius. I was super pumped to learn about this card because I did not really understand how self-restraint related to being a Sagittarius. Not known for my self-restraint at all. But the reason why it's associated there is I did some thinking, and it's because Sagittarius is always trying to find a balance between the spiritual, philosophical, and other wisdom practices, right? Like being spiritual or philosophical, or like learning a lot of things, as well as actually living through experience. And so to like understand the association a little bit more, Sagittarius practiced restraint as a wise centaur in the Greek myth. So Sagittarius was a famous centaur, right, in these Greek myths, and centaurs were known for being, for drinking, getting into fights, womanizing, all that good stuff. They were wild, wild souls. So Sagittarius was a centaur who practiced restraint, and he was super knowledgeable, had a lot of wisdom to share. And so I believe like some of the gods sent like their children, or people sent their children to be taught by Sagittarius because he was like so different from those other guys. Okay, so I gave this card a nickname, and it's reaching out to your spirit guides. So if you don't know why I called it that, you need to go look at my Major Arcana Made Easiest video, or easiest way to learn the Major Arcana. Anyway, I'm gonna, I'm linking it up at the top here. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because to really remember the Major Arcana, you want to remember that it's connected through a story. And so in that video, I explain more about that. I'm also going to leave a link in the description below, so check it out. Okay, so the upright meaning of this card, big one to really remember it is integrity. Moderation in a way that creates inner growth and outer harmony. So some examples, gotta use your intuition, but this is what it could look like. So it could be being frugal and sticking to your finances or financial budget so that you can save up for a gift for someone else. Working in harmony with others on a project. Being a good manager. Successfully combining two different elements of life that seem incompatible. Following a meditation or a spiritual practice to connect with your higher self, spiritual, divine, or angelic intervention, or asking your spirit guides for guidance. Great, so getting on to the reversed meanings of the cards. If it's reversed, it will be upside down, just like this. Okay, and if you need to remember reversals, remember that the energy is there, but it's being blocked or avoided by you, by someone else, by the universe, maybe for good reason sometimes. Not everybody reads them, really up to you. So if it's reversed though, what it could mean is you're trying to force things to happen in a way you think should happen, or the way you think you should. Being overly focused on one element of life and sacrificing another, like being so caught up in work and ignoring your relationship, or vice versa. Or compartmentalizing things. So some examples, this could be also fighting with your partner or spouse, marital separation, overindulgence in a physical activity or habit, or being so caught up in your spiritual practice that you ignore your physical needs. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video on the Temperance card. This is just a quick reminder to make sure that if you like this video and this series, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can get notified when I put out the next card, which will be the Devil card. Also, if you are watching this in the future and or you just want to catch up on the cards that I've already done, I'm going to link a Major Arcana playlist right here, as well as a related video up here. All right, love you guys so much. Take care. Bye. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.